Well, all right, cool. I think it's time to get started. So this is video 3 or 4 in this series. All right, I'm gonna build more controls here for this character. This is gonna be cool. I'm gonna pick up where we left off, because where we left off yesterday, we had finally set up our focus changer, but we had other things that we could do. Curious about a couple things. I'm curious about axis input events, and I'm curious if we can delegate them. I'm curious if there's a way of setting them up with delegates so that we can use our mode system that way instead of just a bunch of switches and booleans and weird junk going on. And then we might be able to do the latter anyways, but I'm gonna keep working on our camera system. My apologies. Oh, hey, Duxie's on. Hey, how's it going? What's going on, man? So we're gonna take this thing to the next level. We're gonna go from the focus changer to zoom. The zoom's probably gonna be the most help. So I'm gonna add another one of these guys called change zoom. Oh, that's okay that you didn't come yesterday. It's cool. People got places to be sometimes. It's okay. I'm glad you're here now. So we're going to call this change zoom. We're going to add some inputs. I should say good day, Brew. Good day to you. I know that you don't necessarily say good day, but I thought that'd be a fun callback. Okay, so we're going to call this, what did we call the last one? Zoom additive, I guess. Yes, because this is not necessarily the new zoom, but it's our additive. Let's so we'll get the pawn camera here. We did over here. This time we're gonna get zoom settings. So focal length. It's a fancy word for zoom. Get current focal length. Do another one of these nodes. We belabored this node so hard, but now we should be able to just use it. Duxie, what you missed yesterday is that I spent most of the time building this macro, and this macro helped us build this cool focus changer. And I'll review the focus changer because I probably should have done that anyways. All right, grabbing my index controller here. I'm gonna grab this and then make sure it's hooked up because I think I might have unhooked it. Camera counters. Change focus. Yeah, that's still on. All right, sweet. So we do have input. We have input from here. Was it the other controller maybe? Maybe it was my other controller. So it's not this one because this one controls an up-down level of up-down movement, which is cool though. So yeah, okay. So we need to figure out what's going on. Currently, it's not working. So it's great that it's not working. We've got problems to solve. So the axis map greater than 0. That might be stressing us out. Let's pull this up, see how bad this is. Nope, that should be fine. So let's just try this again. go over to change focus. What's going on over here? I'm glad that I was trying to show you Duxie, because otherwise we might not have found some critical errors here. So we even have the print still set up. So I want to know why we're not seeing anything. What's going on in our project settings? We didn't like drop an input. That's not a thing. I don't think that should happen. But change camera setting X and Y. All right. I might not be passing rank here. So let's get this going on. Do you plan to Vtube live? Yes. Yes, I do. I plan to do I want to do it all. I think I'm spending a little bit too much time like over engineering all of my solutions. Okay. So I'm not getting any inputs from my controller here. So I don't know what's going on with that, because I definitely got it last time. I'm gonna try just powering this down and powering it up again, because we're definitely getting it from the other controller. That input axis. Let's see what's going on. All right. Hopefully that's not broken. That's really tricky. Let's try the other one for now. I'm gonna go back to settings, and I'm gonna go to project settings, and I'm gonna try and run some interference here. So move upwards. I wish I could invalidate a control system briefly. I don't know why I'm not getting my trackpads. I gotta look into that, but we're clearly getting data. This is all compiled, right? Just from a specific, what controller? Valve index controllers. Let's go our invisible pawn. Where's our move upwards? Yeah. I'm killing this, and I'm killing this for now. We're into the real stuff now. You know you're in the real stuff when things stop working. All right, so I'm gonna go index R trackpad X. Index trackpad Y. All right, let's see if this fixes a problem. Yeah, okay. So we have one trackpad that's just not online. What's going on with that, I wonder? Okay, cool. So that fixed the problem, and created another. But Duxie, I can finally show you. This is what we built yesterday. Is this focus controller. So we've got our cinema camera now, and then we're adding focus to it, and it's actually pretty finely tuned. So we got that, and we can roll over to our next shot. We can change the focus on all of them. So we're adding in a bunch of data, subtracting a bunch of data. This one's pretty close to the lens, so we're gonna have to, yeah. That's not a lot of distance. that's very close. Whereas this one takes a lot more adjustment because of the focal length and stuff. We're also gonna build our own autofocus. I know we could use the autofocus system in Unreal, but we can also build our own, and it'll do a slightly better job. Do you still have the Mac? Yes, I still have the Mac. I'm telling you, Brew, if you can get over here, and it's not the. I maybe I didn't explain this well last time. It's the Mac trash can. It's like the Mac. It's like it looks like a Star Wars robot. It's that that circular, that semi-spherical, whatever it is. It doesn't. If you really actually want that GPU in it, you can't. You'd have to put it in the exact same kind of computer. It's custom made for the Mac. It's a horrible design. At the time, I had like just quit my first full-time job, and then like I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna freelance for a while. What am I gonna get? I should just get a Mac, and I should just buy the most expensive one I can, and then it'll work really well. And it did, but back then I was just trying to do editing. Yeah. Okay, so our focus works. That's great. I'm distraught that our other trackpad isn't working. 'Cause we literally just used it yesterday. I played a lot of VR games between the last stream and now, so that might have something to do with it. All right, so we're gonna swap everything out here. So instead of doing this, definitely don't want to do that anyway. Change focus, I'm gonna create change zoom. And honestly, if we make a new zoom curve here, this could be so simple it's stupid. We want to just code things one time. Oh, cool. I can sell it to get a GPU. Yeah, I'm not sure you'd make much money off of it now. It's a very old, outdated computer. I feel like you're serious about this. I feel like you're like, yeah, Brew, I'm coming for that old Mac. I would be surprised that I want to see what GPU that actually buys. I'm telling you, man, though, people are way too into those GPUs. Let's make a focus curve. Or a zoom curve. We're gonna create, it's in miscellaneous, curve. Nice. Curve float. And let's see, now's a good chance to make decisions for the channel. I think the widest I want to get is 12 millimeters. Although fisheye 8 millimeter might be a interesting. Focal lengths, we'll call this. What do we call the last one? Focus distance, focal lengths. I should probably be naming scheming these. Should probably be like C underscore focal lengths. Why do you need it to change focus? And yes, I'm coming for it. Great. We want it to change focal lengths because that'll change the zoom. Change focus. You asked me why do you need it to change focus? I might want to get creative during filming. Like I might want to like control the camera and like rack the zoom focus back and forth between things. And also, it was just a good first thing to build. You're gonna see during this stream that since we built like all of this functionality here and this horrible looking macro, now that we're back here in our camera controller and we're setting up the next changer, it's gonna be way better. Just like we'll just be able to, like, now that we've gotten one out of the way, we'll be able to change whatever settings we want. So even if I don't end up using it a lot, I will have the ability to use it whenever I want, and that's cool. And I'll have the ability to keep changing more things. So we're gonna add one is going to be our deepest one. I'm going to say 500 is the most that I'm going to want here. So these are also going to be on a curve because focal lengths are curved in terms of their intensity. The difference between 8 millimeters and 24 millimeters is a world of difference compared to 150 meters and 158 millimeters, however many that is. So let's, I gotta start somewhere. So we said the minimum is going to be 12. Oh, that's not 12, that's 1.2. this is going to be 500. Nice. And now we can't see anything, so let's go to the normalized view. Great. So I'm gonna change the way these work. I'm gonna make it a curve. I'm gonna use weighted tangents. Same thing up here. All right, sweet. Because that's so much zoom. So we need to see where we're at here. The value here is 30. That's actually pretty good. Versus here's 12, 14. This is like every 10th. So I actually don't want it to curve that gradually. I think I'd prefer that. I want 30 at like a third of the way through here. 30. Well, that's almost 35. 35 is one of my favorite focal lengths. I emailed Original 9. Yes. I sent you a response. Did you get that one? I sent you a half-hour long video of explaining that blueprint. Let me check my email real quick. Yeah. No, I emailed you back. Hilariously, I made a huge gaffe while I was recording that video for you, and I was attempting to explain blueprints while my webcam was on, and it was pretty embarrassing. Let's see. 30 days to school to save just too much, and the Mac would help. Oh man, that's gotcha. That sounds intense. What year are you in school, Duxie? All right, so this is 55, this is 85. I think at this point I want yeah, I want that to be higher up. You're in 8th grade? You're in 8th grade and you're hanging out on some virtual production virtual production live streams, or I guess this is Vtube live streams. That makes more sense. I don't know what I'm doing. I was just talking to Original 9 about virtual production. So, yeah, let's, okay, this curve looks about right. We'll use this one. This is going to be sick. Yeah. All right, so I got to find my curve. This blueprints folder is getting out of control. Oh, and I misnamed. I need to rename that. Lengths. Come on. Oh, yeah, it's already there. It's already there. Same as this one. Focal lengths. Awesome. Right. So what? Did we end up using this minimum and maximum tab? Yes, we did. We want the... There's probably a better way to do this. We could probably just get the min and max of the curve. Let's see if we can do that. Data, duplicate curve, remove all curves of type, rename. Ooh, okay. Curves, get float value. I'm going to turn this off. Math, curve, get time range, get value range. Because this is going to save us some effort. We could customize this if we want to crop things. So I'm going to leave this here. But I'm going to... So let's see here. Yeah, you're welcome, Original 9. Happy to help. You did a good job following up on that. Not everybody always follows up on this stuff. So, all right. I'm just gonna do this for now. Let's see if it. Really hoping my trackpad's not broken. Uh-oh. Oh, don't think so. Don't think it likes that. Oh, I didn't plug it in. I unplugged that. Yeah. So here. Now we'll know. Yeah. Yeah, maybe we need to change the way our curve slopes on this thing here. It's being a little bit more to push in, but it's still cool. Yeah, Duxie, I'm afraid that the thing that I have most available to give you here is knowledge. I know that knowledge isn't a fun thing. Like if someone is like, happy birthday, here's some knowledge, that sounds horrible, but I still do use my Mac. I hope you understand. I'm being kind of tongue-in-cheek about that. I have a couple programs that I still need Mac for, and I actually do still use it. It's sitting off my desk. It's like, it's good. It's good for like word processing. I really wish Finder worked as well as Windows does with all this stuff. We're gonna get pawn camera again. Is this every time I use this? Is this? This is it just gets the player pawn. I guess that doesn't sound like the most performant node ever. Maybe it would be good if we didn't run it twice. Maybe it'd be good if we just its current value. Oh, my foot's falling asleep. Don't worry, you got me. Cool. Yeah, let's see. The variation added memory was the weird name that we came up with for stuff. So we're going to do that for Zoom. So we're going to call this Zoom. We're going to set that here. Then I'm going to get Zoom variation added memory. Because we need to remember what our details were that we're going through here. And then what do we want? We want get pawn camera, and then we're going to want get focal length, set focal length. Yeah. I will accept knowledge with a smile. Oh, I'm so glad to hear that. Yeah, that's most of what I have to offer anybody, but yeah. You never know what knowledge other people have, but not everybody always wants listening. Some people want other gifts. I'll just put it that way. Okay. This should be all that we need to try the zoom changer. So, Duxie, you were asking why are we doing focus? Because we started with focus. But you saw I just added a couple of nodes, and that took me almost no time at all. And we're going to switch to zoom, and then we're going to see if that works here. Whoa. Well, that was intense. We got to change the sensitivity, I think. Okay, yeah, because let me figure out what was going on here with the input and the sensitivity. Alright. Yeah. Actually, it's probably the opposite problem, is that there's too much sensitivity here. Yeah, you can like... Yeah, okay. Let's see what's going on. Let's do it the old-fashioned way, and we'll just jack up the value by a ridiculous amount. Well, I was already under by a ridiculous amount. Yeah. Okay. So this is interesting. Oh, we're not adding the axis input. I'm such an idiot. Let's try 0.3. That sounds reasonable to me. Yeah. See? Boom. Zoom controller. That's way too sensitive. Let's try 0.05. Boom. All right. Yeah. So like Yeah, the only downside with the system is it's still resetting every time we want to try doing something with it. But, yeah. But, yeah, that's pretty cool. So let's do it with Aperture now. Let's do the same thing with Aperture. So we'll custom event. Change Aperture. Yeah, we're gonna, once again, we're gonna get pawn camera. We're gonna get this guy. Gonna hook that up. Gonna add a float value. Get. We're gonna aperture additive. So now we get to talk about apertures on the stream, and I am excited because this is something I actually know something about, because I've been using this technology for like 10 years. So this is easy. So you guys have probably played Portal, Aperture Science. Their logo has that little camera shutter thing. That's an aperture. And apertures are a hole that light travels through in a lens. That's the broad basic scope. So then, so once you have that, you're good to go. Sorry, just getting cut off by my own thoughts. Current aperture, current value. We might need to just make a new program that toggles through and finds our the exact location of our existing settings here. The aperture is a spot in the lens that shuts out the light. It shuts out the light, but because of the shape of the glass in the lens, it also determines how much depth of field we have in the background. So this will make our scene darker, but it will also change the amount of that blurry goodness in the background. So apertures, I'm going to save quickly, are made with f-stops. And f-stops are just a way of measuring it. They are actually on an exponential curve, I believe. So we're not going to recreate the same mathematical curve, though that would be interesting. We are going to make a curve that just sort of loosely follows the system of apertures. So apertures are measured in f-stops. Did I just say that? So I'm going to name this f-stops. And then an incredibly, like, the lower the f-stop number, the more blur you're going to get in the background. So let's save that. We're going to add key. So our first one is going to be a really bright f-stop is like f1.4. f1.2 is the brightest one I think I've used in a lens. f1.2 I think is very reasonable for this. We'll see how much damage this does. So then at number 1, we're going to add another one and add another key, and then that's going to be f6 point no points, just f64. That's 64. So let's normalize our view again. Then we got did I buy the Corridor Crew filmmaking tips and course? No, I didn't buy that. I have been working as a filmmaker for about 10 years. So I don't think it made a ton of sense. Like, certain courses don't make as much sense to me. Like, I'm sure there's some really good stuff in there, but I don't think I'm the target audience for that course. And I don't say that to sound braggadocious at all. I really don't think that I'm who they're trying to sell that to, if that makes sense. Let's see. We're going to add just a slight curve to this one. I think actually this one's fine if it's linear. The naming system's on a curve, but this curve is set up for our control scheme to make things easier for us. So I'm going to add just like a slight dip. I'm going to do weighted tangents again. But I don't think we need to do anything. I don't think we need to exaggerate this too much. Yeah, so I do like Corridor. I like what they do. They certainly actually, I mean, like, they're legitimately, some of the stuff they're doing right now, especially with virtual production, is like pushing the boundaries on the entire industry. So that's pretty cool. All right, let's set this aperture. All right, so this one's gonna have an even greater sensitivity because the number is, I guess it doesn't necessarily have to have much greater sensitivity. Well, let's see how it goes. All right, so we don't have to worry about the minimum and maximum anymore. Maybe we'll add like an override minimum max min max. Yeah, let's add an override mode, not mode, but Boolean. Oh, good, it's already a Boolean. Ride min max, and then let's oops. Drop that. Drop that. Drop that. Did you apply for Corridor Crew Unreal Engine job? I didn't see that they had an Unreal Engine job. That might have been an interesting opportunity for me. I watched the recent Dungeons and Dragons video that they were working on, and I was kind of frustrated because I felt like I could have fixed some of the stuff Sam had messed up. I was sitting there and I was like, I bet I could fix that, like, just from stuff I've done. He seemed like he was doing an absolutely insane amount of work though. All right. So got that aperture. We can override. We'll just create two switch float. No. Just type in float. Ooh, what's this? What? Whoa. That looks very cool. I want to use that eventually. I gotta delete it, unfortunately. Float. Yeah, I don't know. I don't keep up with them that much. I live in New York and they're out in LA. I'd have to if they want an Unreal Engine person, I mean, there are probably other people who are more qualified. To float, select float. That's what I want here. So yeah, I think I think it's nice that you asked me that question, because I think that means that you thought that I was qualified to do that job, and I'll take that as a high and sincere compliment. So let's. It sounds like an absolute insane place to work. I mean, maybe it's just because the edits that they do are cut so fast, but it seems legitimately quite. Oh no, hold on. That's not quite how this is gonna work. So if the override is true, it picks A. which means this should be A, and max value, this should be A, because it's not, we're not overriding the min and max from the curve. This will be B. So this is our min, this is our max, and then, oh, that's right, we were using the, oh, that was from the, oh, that was the value range already. Yeah, oops. Looking at the wrong thing here. Blueprint, aka literal spaghetti code. Nice. Yeah, I feel like, I don't know, I feel like I might be able to fit in with those guys. I've got a, you know, I feel like I've got this mustache. Those dudes are like, I've got facial hair there and stuff. I mean, it would be insane amounts of stress and to work there, which I don't know if everybody thinks about. Like, they have Peter, who's a genius Blender guy, and then they have him building Super Smash Brothers in a week. I mean, that sounds fun, but that's absolutely, that's an insane amount of work. I don't know if they like ask him if he's comfortable with that, and I assume he is. He's a little younger than I am, so I think he's probably fine. I won't speak for him, but yeah, that place is, yeah, that'd be a fun place to freelance and not a fun place to be on staff, if that makes sense. Change aperture. Very happy doing what I'm doing right now. But thanks for making me existential about my life, Duxie. All right, let's try this. Oh no, my controller just turned off. The minute I needed it too. Oh yeah. Well, the good news is that it works. The bad news is that I think I have the minimum override turned on. Or it doesn't work right. Oh boy. Yeah, that'll do it. That'll mess it up right there. Still messed up. It can get darker, but not that much brighter. Oh, you know what? We're on focal length still, aren't we? It's just, you always got to make sure you plug in the right stuff. F-stops. Now we've got F-stops. Now we're good to go. Yeah. See, look at that. Look at all that blur. You and Sam would just be fixing bugs. Yeah. Yeah, it's true. It's true. We would be fixing bugs all the time. And then... Ha! Look at that. Whoa, that's trippy. That's not something you can do in real life. Whoa. This is like the scene in the movie where like somebody's like going to the ER and they're like in and out of consciousness and stuff like that, and like the lens is doing all sorts of crazy stuff, and like people are looking over your over in front of you, and they're like, Woody, are you okay? You're gonna make it. Woody, I love you so much. That's that part. Sweet. Okay, so the aperture system works. So you were asking me why bother to change the focus? Well, why bother to change any of this stuff? The good news is if we're going to change any of this stuff, then we can actually change all of it. And it's been taking me, feels like 5 minutes just to like hook up the next one. So we've got that. I'm going to open my mind maps up here. No. Pull this up. This may be that may be last night's D&D. It's not trying to use that today. I do share a lot of stuff that they are like I do like a lot of the things that they do over there. Like I like playing Dungeons and Dragons. I DM a campaign every 2 weeks, like a regular one. I enjoy that a lot. Camera switching. So we want aperture focus. We got the zoom. I'm trying to think. The rest of it's going to be about camera movement and operating. I'm going to move on to my mode system because we want to be able to control all of this stuff, right? It's like, what good is it if we can't, mess with all of it? So we want to be able to use one hand to change things, and the other hand to make sure it's right. I'm gonna pull up my Steam VR settings because it bothers me very much that that I can't use one of my trackpads. I want to know what's going on with that. I'm gonna just, you know what? I have an egg timer here. I'm gonna just. You never played D&D? Oh man, it's really fun. You should do it. You can play online now. I play online with my friends. Ever since COVID, we've been playing online. All right. You can hear this timer. This is a little egg timer. I'm going to spend 5 minutes trying to get this trackpad online. And if I can't figure out in 5 minutes, we're going to move on. We're going to keep using the other one. So, wait, can I? Yeah. Turn off context sensitive. Can I get controls here? Yeah, let's see if I can just do a basic input. Because I know you can get the keyboard at like any time. Identity input. Action events. XR tracking. Steam events. Hand events. Yeah, I guess you can't get the index here. That would be really nice. It would save me some time. Project settings. Okay, we've wasted one of our 5 minutes. Got 4 minutes left. Do you know what D&D is, Dugsy? I'm guessing you might because you've watched the video, but let's see here. I'm gonna delete that. New axis mapping, 2 of them. First one, setting L. Y. Valve, index. Track, pad, X. That's the L. Yes, that's what I want. Valve, index. Trackpad, Y. And a story game board? Yeah, it's you can find cool YouTube videos about it. There's a lot of YouTube content about D&D. But the hold on. Let me grab this input and then I'll explain it properly. Change camera setting L Y. Print string. Compile. Play. And that's not going. Okay. Let's get Chrome. That's not where I wanted to put it. see here. Let's get Valve. I still have like 1 minute left. Dex trackpad not working. Huh. Yeah, maybe the trick here is probably just to reboot my VR station, which is not really what I want to do. Ah! That's our 5 minutes. I think I learned everything I need to know. It still makes a ticking noise. Sorry if it's a problem. Duxie. Dungeons and Dragons is a role-playing game. You play as characters that you imagine. So everybody comes to a table. Everybody gets these sheets out. You can play online as well, so you could use web pages. There's there's companies that have like game boards, and instead of like a video game RPG where everybody like plays and their stats go up and stuff like that, everybody plays the game in their imagination and they write things down. So there's one guy who's the dungeon master who explains what's going on. He's sort of telling the story, and then everybody gets to interact with the story. So they get to act, and they get to do all kinds of cool things. It's great. I love it. I don't love acting very much. That's not really my thing. But I have my players really love it. So they have a lot of fun just being their characters and doing their thing. So they pretend to be these characters, and then they go on all these adventures and stuff like that. There's combat. Combat is like more of a board game. So a storyboard game, calling it a storyboard game, that's mostly right to that degree. Change focus, change aperture, change zoom. I don't actually want to change the ISO. I do think I want to change the relative, the manual exposure. So if I go to Cinecam, exposure compensation, I do think I want to change that because I might want to mess with that a little bit. Especially if I'm going to change the aperture, I'm going to want to change the exposure compensation. So let's go back over here. Exposure, no, custom event. Exposure compensation. Change exposure compensation. I'm just gonna call that exposure comp, and that's good for me today. I guess the downside of the system is we gotta make a curve every time now. Make another curve. You know what? I'll just Control W this curve. Call it EXP comp, and then I'm gonna just edit this thing quick and dirty. See, this can be linear, so minimum I think I would want is for this is -1, and the maximum I'm gonna want for this is 12. I said -1. Oh, that's the timing. Oops, wrong one. Yeah. All right, cool. So let's see here. Camera controller. EXP comp. Let's add a float. Duxie, can I answer any technical questions for? Oh, would you you play using a book or a story or book of some sort? Yes and no. There are books. The books can be entire campaigns, and yeah, no, there's a ton of books you can buy, and people do generally play out of the books. XP comp additive, and people are really into them. I have a book right now that I'm kind of using. Sometimes I will use pre-made stuff from the book, but most of the time I just make up weird junk. Like I had this idea for a game where there was going to be a wizard who turned all of the people of an island village into goats, and that's I hope nobody's gonna watch this that plays my D&D campaign, but they're gonna get turned into goats. Or they're not gonna get turned into goats. That would be interesting if they did, but they're gonna come to come to this island where everybody's been turned into goats. And that got worse. And EXP comp, variation added memory. We'll get our pawn camera. Then, I mean, I don't know if I want so many gets in a row. That could be really annoying. I think I maybe just need our current camera component just from like a possession level. I think I should find all of my possession nodes, and then I should just switch them to a custom node that possesses and updates our current camera component. Yeah. Duxie, are you is there any other questions you're interested in from the programming side of things? Like, there's a lot of stuff here that I'm kind of breezing over that's really basic, but I'd be happy to explain anything along the way. No, don't want to promote that. So to find what we're looking for here, we're going to go to Post, Process, Settings. We're going to get it over here. And I'm going to break this. Oh, what? Oh, wow. I guess, I get to add all of these as pins. This is kind of nice, actually. Good. We could press a button and create an 80s filter. That would be hilarious. Exposure. Metering mode. Guess I don't need that for this. Current value. Is this even using the current value anymore? No, it's not. It will, though. I think it will. Future. And let's create a make. We're going to find exposure. Exposure compensation. A new value. Awesome. Cool. So let's try exposure compensation. And do that, and then we'll know if this is working because it just makes things brighter or darker. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, it is working. Wow. interesting, because I feel like it's getting way brighter. And maybe it's adding... That's funny because it feels like it's just adding on to what exists already. And why do you start from scratch when making controls instead of changing the pre-built controls? I'm not. I am using the pre-built controls in a sense, right? So like someone doing Vtube who is gonna start doing this, like they're gonna get a controllable camera. This is a default floating pawn that's been modified. I haven't started from scratch and rebuilt a pawn. Like it would take me a long time to build my own motion controller. This is a modified motion controller. The advantage that I'm doing here is I'm having everything set up with, because I'm glad you asked this question. The reason that I'm going to all the trouble to making all this stuff work, especially for me, is because they're like, how should I say it? It's going to give me more control at every point of the filming process, and it's going to make everything look better. And these are all controls I'm used to using. So this is stuff I really like to do, and I'm excited to be able to push this as far as I can. But like these like we started with the floating pawn. Like this invisible pawn was what we started with. And this invisible pawn is a subclass of the floating pawn. But the floating pawn by itself, like if we switch to just floating or default pawn, I guess that's what I meant. If I press this button now, this is our default pawn. Does this look good to you? This does not look that good to me. This is like big and obnoxious, and this is a regular camera. It's not a cinema camera. So when I change things to our custom class, which right now is called Invisible Pawn, we will eventually change this to another name, but it's just because it's just I like this right now because it's gonna we have enough things named camera, if that makes sense. So, but like all of this stuff, this one's out of focus, but like, like I think this looks to me like way more cinematic. You know what I mean? And like I want all the, well, I don't want to clip, but I want all the advantages I can get. I don't want to, yeah, thank you. For those of you who are watching this later, Duxc just admitted that my controller is better than the default controller, and it is. So here's the thing: is that a lot of people will just slap a camera on, and I'm a filmmaker. I know how to control a shot. I know that a shot gives us a feeling. Like when people are watching my videos, I want them to come away with an experience like emotionally, from my props to the way the shot is composed with like how big I am in the frame, or like what this computer looks like. I have this cheeky little sticky note here, this is don't forget mocap. And all that stuff is deliberate. I want to be able to control all of that. I think I want different things out of Vtube than other people want out of Vtube. Like I want to create cool emotional experiences for people, and I don't want to just like react to things. How many things did I change? Ooh. Did I change? Did I change field of view? In this case, field of view is being controlled by our focal length. So we did change the FOV because the Cine camera uses a field of view based on a focal length, aka a zoom. So yes, we did change the FOV. How many things did we change? So I'll open that pawn back up, and I'll show you. So if you look at our actual event graph here, most of what I changed right here is just I've hooked up my index controllers. These functions are all things that get called by this movement component, inside this movement component. So if I click on that, I think it's C++, so I can't open it. But basically I've just rerouted everything to work with my index, and that's so far mostly what I've changed. Like the movement component itself, though, I did change my max speed, I changed my acceleration, I changed my deceleration, because then things like start and stop more slowly. And but that's mostly it. Other than that, I slapped a cinema camera inside of it, which gives us a better default like view target. So like I changed the field of view partially just by creating a cinema camera and putting it inside of it. This mesh is invisible, but that's the other thing that people will run into when they're in Unreal. By default, you're asking me what I changed. This mesh isn't always... sometimes this mesh is perfectly visible. Like if you create a scene and you just press play and then you just go into the scene, that orb, that stinking orb, is going to cast shadows in your shot. It's going to, like, you're going to be able to see this gray blob, and it's terrible. Like, people who don't know how to use Blueprint, don't know how to change the system, they're going to end up with a lot of default stuff that isn't designed to be used with Vtube. And that's okay, but that's why I want to put this information out there. I want to do a whole video on just how to set up a default camera, not to go to all the lengths that I'm doing with this thing, but like to actually just get a better idea of what it takes to just create a decent first camera view. I think that would be helpful. I kind of covered that a little bit in the blue screen video I made, but I think there's more to do there. This is cool. This could use adjustments, but I'm fine with it for this round. I can't see what you changed because I'm watching at 144p. Oh man, not sure I can help you there. Yeah, I am using a 4K screen, so that's probably not helpful. I'm guessing that means where you are, internet's not too great. Yeah, my verbal explanation's probably pretty good though. But man, it seems you need a GPU. You need better internet. You're having a tough time. So these are our camera controls. The camera controls mode, the functionality has been made. That's great. I'm gonna start setting up what we need to be able to switch between modes. So this is the camera switch mode. This is the camera settings mode. I need a mode controller. So I'm just gonna start by just creating a I'm gonna start by creating a user interface. So I'm gonna make a new widget blueprint, and I'm gonna name this view icon. And I've used widgets very infrequently, so this could totally suck, but we're gonna go with it for now. Okay, so we have all the basics here. Border, image, name slot, progress bar. Man, it would make me so happy if someone came into the chat who knows how to do this. Text box, list. Let's find the canvas panel. Let's start with one of those. Oh, I see. Are you watching on a cell phone? An old PC. I see. So 0, 0. And so I'll just tell you then, what I'm doing now is I'm creating a small little icon widget at the bottom of the screen. And basically when I'm VTubing, I don't want anybody to be distracted by any information that's going on. So I'm gonna just create a small little system here that basically whenever something changes, it's going to give me just a slight piece of information, and I'm either going to use like little icons, or I'm just going to use the color of this little box, and that's going to tell me what I'm doing specifically with the with Vtube, what I'm controlling with my controller system. And I guess I won't worry about it too much if it's in the shot, because it's not the same as like having the messages on the screen. Sometimes I'll watch Code Miko and she'll have stuff like on the screen, and I'll be like, well, I guess her whole thing is chaos, so it's fine. I just need a background. Expandable area, panel, canvas panel. Put that in there. I just need like a fill primitive. Maybe this is what I need. Menu anchor, spacer. Checkbox, image, name slot, progress bar, text bar, editable text, spin box, text box, combo box. I feel like there should be a way I can just make this thing here. So it shows you are on mute or something is disconnected. I don't think so. Everything should be fine. Everything's running fine through OBS. I don't think we're having a problem. Let's see. I got to figure out how to. Is this an overlay? What does this do? No, I don't think that's it. Panel section. We grab an image. Oh, okay. This is great. We'll take this image and we'll put it inside our panel. And see if that works. Oh. Okay. Wow. Whoa. Okay. Okay. Whatever you want to do, Unreal. That doesn't work. Wow. All right. So. All right. So at this point, I've just created this little box down there. I am going to change the color of the box to gray. But the point of this box is that specifically, I want to be able to select image asset, set. I want to get this. I want to be able to change the background color. Brush. Because I think brush is how we, yes. No. I am not I'm not a HUD guy. I think the system is really actually pretty good, and there's cool ways to animate it, and I think that's really neat, but I'm not that guy. So I am going to go ahead and just use what I find, and I just found a color and opacity here. So I'm going to, for this image 0, I'm going to go color, set color and opacity, and this is fine. So So I'm gonna go ahead and create an enum for our nodes. And this are our modes. Control modes. That's what I'm gonna call this, control modes. So we're gonna control, what are the modes that we created? Is camera switcher. Camera switcher. And camera settings. What else do we have up? Camera switcher, camera movement. Yes, camera operating. Mocap controls, media textures. Yeah. And then lighting. That should be higher up in the list. Mocap controls, camera controls. I'd rather add them now and then grow into them than forget them. Media textures, lighting, and then we'll just make a miscellaneous. Media textures, maybe a few episodes out, a few streams out. I think Duxie had technical problems. I miss him now. This was lighting. And then it's gonna be miscellaneous. This will be like for scene control and stuff. If I ever create spawnables or a Twitch integration or something like that, I'll probably change it from there. And great. So we're gonna have one button that toggles. I think we already set that up. So toggle modes. Pretty sure we have toggle modes ready to go. So as a variable, I'm gonna add current control mode. Actually, let's clean this up a little bit. Let's clean this up. We're gonna call this camera settings. Drag and drop these guys. Find references to this. It sounds like we can delete that. Don't know what that is. And we're gonna find the enum. We can go here and go. Oh, you're still here. Okay. YouTube said that you went dark. You're taking notes. Oh my gosh, dude, that's amazing. So I'm gonna find my switch. No. Bad at typing. Control modes. I'm gonna add one here. Current control mode. So current control mode. We're actually gonna set current control mode. So we need a way to toggle through all of our different settings here. How do we? Yeah. All right. So let's play with this. Let's see here. So if we go into utilities, go to enum. So can be used as separate. So there's bytes and there's enums, right? So I think the bytes are the number value for every specific option that we have in the enums. So the bytes, let's see here. I want to convert this to byte. So byte to enum control modes. I think I want the opposite of that. Current control mode, control modes. So get control mode. If I type in byte, control modes. Let's open up Chrome real quick because I'm making some assumptions here. Bytes, UE4, documentation. Let's see what's going on with this thing. Whoa. What? That's what. This isn't anything. That's the first thing that comes up. Oh, Matthew Watstein on this video on this. I bet he has the answers. Probably I don't have sound on while watching his video. So I think it's a little meta to watch YouTube during YouTube. Okay. Okay, that might not do what I thought it did, but now we know. Okay. Cool. Switch on control modes. Select on control modes. So when we use a select node, I watched Mark Rober. Yeah, I actually did Mark Rober's creative engineering class. I actually did that class. It was cool. I didn't learn as much as I thought I would, but it was cool. Okay, I think this might be. Can we turn integers? Let's see. Byte to. There's something between bytes and enums. Aha. So as long as we have our number between 240, we should be able to select it. Let's try this out briefly. We press this button. Let's make a print here. Then control modes, enum, pressed, and let's just see what happens. This is gonna give me what I want. Hold on. One of these controllers is dead, so Oh boy, I have a lot of fixing to do with my my VR setup right now. It's not calibrated well at all. Not at all. So toggle modes is an input we have from our settings. Toggle modes is a valve index RB button press. So also a tab button. So we didn't get that just says mocap controls at 0. So if we change the, why is the B button press not working? I will say these index controllers are, these guys are tricky. B button press. I have other things that are working. Calibration, T-pose. The A button press. Valve index A press. Toggle modes. I'm not too pleased with this because I just have things that are just randomly not working. I probably just need to reset my whole VR thing, but we might just use the keyboard for the rest of the stream. Okay. Where was I doing? What was I doing? Camera controller. Yes. So doing the tab key, switch that. So that was 1. That was. So then, camera switcher. So this is how we do it. So these bytes can be turned into mocap. It can be turned into this. So what we're building is what's called a finite state machine. Basically, what we must do is set up our modes is to create different ways of being for this controller that we can use to switch between states. During each state, it will change the functionality of what we are controlling, and there will be substates within the states. So let's go ahead and I'm going to call this control modes. I'm going to give it its own place to live because it's going to get complicated. Hold on, it's going to be a bumpy ride. So current control mode, this is an enum, right? So we need to have a system where every time we press this, we take our current control mode, we're going to convert it to an enum, or convert it to byte, I'm just going to type byte. I want this to go backwards, not the other way. Enum to byte. Not byte to enum. Is that all we can do? Let's look at utilities and go to enum again. What is this? Literal enum control modes. So my next thought is that maybe this just functions as a byte concurrently, so that it works at the same time. Do you plan on changing your set for your VTubing? Yes. Currently, I just have a blank wall. On another stream, I will show you what I'm doing in Blender because I am creating a whole set. There's all sorts of stuff I want to put in it. I want to have a bookcase with some of my D&D books. I want to have a hedgehog in it. I want to have another station for like drawing or something like that. Like maybe some musical instruments. Like I want to do a lot of crazy stuff in there. I just kind of want it to look like some crazy. It's kind of like my real office, like just full of like way too many tools and creative gear and stuff, just like all sorts of stuff. You were asking great questions, by the way. That one was a softball. That was like a softball question that was just like right across the plate. It's like, yes, I can explain that, and I'm gonna be passionate about that, and what an easy question to answer. So, all right. So we're gonna take this, and then we're gonna. Ooh, that didn't work like I thought it would. Byte. Let's see if we can turn this into an integer. Ah, yes. This is the magic right here. So we need this plus another integer. Now we're not going to do a plus minus thing here. And we learned that we over-engineered something in here. We created a whole node that was set up to translate things back into the to like mess with our counters. We can just use a wrap or a wrap node or a what's the other one? A clamp. A clamp, that's it. So every single time we're going to add 1, and then we are going to wrap the max value. We're going to get the... Let's see if we can get a length here. For each... get entries in... number of... Yeah. Control modes. Let's hope that works. And then we're going to wrap this by a minimum and a maximum. 0 will be our minimum. Maximum is going to be entries in control modes. And every time we click this, we are going to change our control mode. So we're going to find this. I'm going to drag it out here. We're going to set it. And then we're going to... Now we are writing efficient code. This feels efficient. Yeah. Cool. Duxie, do you plan to do Vtube? I imagine you're here for a reason. To byte. Convert this to byte. And then, do I plan on using 3D scanning? Because I think your D&D books would look great if you put books and stuff on your VTubing desk. I have actually already made the D&D books, but I've thought about 3D scanning. Unreal Engine bought reality capture. Actually, I think that was a while ago, but it's gotten cheaper to do that. I definitely have a camera I could use for 3D scanning. I even have an app on my phone that does a decent job. But I don't plan on doing ultra realistic stuff, which 3D scanning is really good for that. But I don't plan on doing any 3D scanning just because. Let's see if this works, and then let's print this afterwards. The 3D scans will just look too realistic, I think. Yes. Oh, it's control mode's max. I don't. Interesting. All right, do you see that? Look at in how many actual nodes did we use here? I guess we used a lot of math. But by getting the number of entries in our enum, by using a wrap integer, and then by using a like getting our current control, we added 1 to our count each time. We converted that back into a byte, which we could use with our current control mode, and then we printed a string that would tell us exactly what we're using. I'm gonna go ahead and just steal the color from this, and then we'll know what we're doing every single time we see that. Let's see here. All right. Yeah, okay. So I think the thing I want to do is attach a mode to everything. We do want sub modes in specific cases, but that's not what we want to deal with yet. So our input change camera setting, which is doing great, we want to make sure that this is only going to work in the mode that it's on. I'm also going to create something that will help us in the long run. We've done this before, but we're going to create another yeah. We're going to create a sorry, I'm filibustering. We are going to what do I want to call this? This is yes, we're going to do a change. You know what? I don't actually think I want to. I don't actually want to do this. I don't want to use an event dispatcher. We have our modes and they are working. Technically, we now have modes. What I want to do next is I want to set up our. Specifically, I want to set up our widget. So I'm gonna make a custom event. And we're gonna custom event, add widget. I'm gonna call this the indicator widget. That's what I'm gonna call it. So I'm gonna, and it's good to use a character controller because when we create widgets, we always want to use the character controller because that's, I think, the level where it happens at. Add widget. Come on, what? Add to viewport, I think it's called. Add to viewport. Great. So we're going to add to viewport. This is awesome. Maybe I would do VTubing for storytelling and do some tech news with it as a VTubing character and more, but I think I would have to invest some money to get started. I don't think that's true. I don't think you would have to invest that much money. You need just, like, the thing you need is just, like, if you know how to code and you know how to start, you just need one device that can get some movement input. And I really think within the next couple of years, people are going to make free apps you can use that will convert a webcam signal into moving mouth data. I made a video a while back about how to just use the iPhone, like any of the new iPhones that have Face ID, and then how to convert that into an entire VTube setup. And I really don't think I don't think it should be cost prohibitive. I think it should be knowledge. I don't think it should be knowledge prohibitive. I think it should be knowledge dependent. All right, so we're gonna add our widget here. We're going to call this our indicator widget. And this is going to be, I think, a class reference. Where is... Yeah, where's my stuff? Okay. Yeah, I think if you want to do VTubing, you should do it. You should give it a go. You will learn if you embark on this task and you start trying to do some of the stuff I'm doing right now. You will learn so much about computer programming. You know that even if you don't end up enjoying VTube, you will have one heck of a skill set by the end of your attempt. It's worth doing and failing, I think. You can't say that about everything. Not everything's worth doing and failing. Like, it's not worth it to try and learn how to bake and then fail and never learn any baking skills. I mean, you might learn how to use kitchen tools. But, you know what? This metaphor is horrible. All right. Where was I going with this? That's right. I made a widget. The view icon. I guess I already tried to name it. Okay. Indicator widget. Going to be icon. And I think... Wait, no, I need not. We need an object reference. Icon. I need a widget. I think that's it. Widget blueprint. That should do it. So if we compile this, do we get one? Yes, we do. It's giving us an error because, like, we're going to add what to this thing? Widget object reference. Okay, so we need to, like, get the widget. Let's try again. Indicator. Widget. I swear that my biggest problem in Unreal is spelling. Or typing. Just typing, even. Let's see. What can we get? If we do plug this in, will this work by default? No. User widget object reference. User widget. That's what it wants. Okay. Still don't have that. Oh, come on. Come on. It's killing me. I want to just drag that in. Wow. User widget object reference. How have I done this in the past? Because I've done this in the past. I've done this before. This we could Google. I will save up to download Unreal. Unless you're saving just your internet data that you're trying to keep to a minimum, Unreal is free. You don't have to save up any money for it. You can just download Unreal. As long as you don't make $1 million with it. Literally, I think as long as you don't make $1 million with it, it's free. Oh yeah, I was gonna Google this problem. Unreal add widget to viewport. Create HUD widget. We have to create the HUD widget first. I didn't even have to click on the video. Huh. Create HUD. Wait, what's that called? Just type in create widget. That was the name specifically. That's what it is. Here we go. So that should do it. So when we start the game again, we should have... This is slow. What's going on here? It's maybe all that slow code that I've been creating. Yeah, our frame rate looks bad. But I can see that our widget did get added. Whoa, that's a nice view. Okay, cool. So I'm gonna name this add widget. Great. And I'm also gonna save this to a variable. We're gonna get rid of these guys. Just gonna call this indicator widget. All right, so we've added that. That's cool. So now that we have the variable, that's also really good. Basically, what I want to set up here is that every single time that we change our mode, we send that data to our widget. And then, so I'm going to create it. You know what? Let's do it over here. Change widget. When that gets called, we're going to do something to it. We're going to send some data over to the widget. What could we send it? We're going to send it everything that we need to send it. We're going to send a new, I guess we can send a new string, which would be cool. Yes, for internet data, because I thought it was 20 gigabytes, and that's expensive. You're right, that is expensive. Yeah, oh man. Well, that's yeah, I mean, then I get, you know, I know a lot of people on YouTube think that like the stream is all about like how many people show up to your stream, but man, I feel like you're sacrificing a lot just coming to my stream, and that's about, that's worth, if you're explaining your situation, that seems like it's worth 100 streams to me. So, or 1,000, whatever's significant, whatever floats people's boat on this platform. Okay, so when we change something, maybe we don't want to do that here because we're going to do that in the widget itself. Yeah, so custom event change widget. And because we have our widget saved as a variable, we'll be able to access it and we'll be able to change things. So let's get our image 0. I'm actually going to change the name of this. And can't rename. Why? Go back to designer. It'll probably let me do it. I'm going to call this BG for background. Knowledge can sometimes come at a cost. Oh my goodness. Well, I gotta say, if you're trying to save your gigabytes, like, man, if you need to get off this stream and there's a way I can help you more, you should let me know, because like we could talk on Discord or something like that, and I could answer more specific questions. Although I would definitely miss you. Let's see here. Yeah, all right. It's in color. So it starts out as a specific color. Let's just change it in color. Can we do anything random? Math random. Nah. Can we break this? Slate color. Or can we make this? Make color. Yes, and now we can do random. Boop, boop. Cool. I don't actually know how costly it is to watch a stream in terms of internet data. All right. So we're switching here. Press tab, camera switcher settings. Awesome. Do. Yeah, we need to actually fire this. I'm the king of testing things before they are linked up. No one does that better than me, baby. Yeah. Oh, I see how that's a problem. Oh, that's the wrong thing. Anyway. Widget. So I think I get it. You're watching streams at 144p so that the data isn't costly. That's actually really clever. That's a good way to get around your limitations. Change widget. Ha! Here we go. So we'll call this. And when we hit play. Yeah, see that little gizmo right at the bottom. You're definitely not going to see this in 144p, but we are getting a random color every time, and that is happening when we call the change widget. So that's awesome. I love that. This is really good. Next, we got to figure out how we can have each one of these guys have their own color. So I'm going to use this tool to help figure that out. I'm going to go in for each of these camera movement. I'm synesthetic, so I have an easy time remembering things if they match my system. So camera settings, that's going to be some kind of yellow for me, because for me, C's are always yellow. If you don't know about synesthesia, look it up. It's a fascinating subject. Probably make a video about it. Camera movement, that can be like mocap control's got to be red. That's just got to be red for me for some reason. Camera switching, that could be orange. I have a compulsory need for these to be the right colors. Do not understand it. It's weird. Media textures, also red somehow. But yeah, this is doing everything I want it to do right now, which is awesome. Media textures, lighting, that's L. L's are blue. So if I think about lighting, think about blueness. Camera movement, like that's also going to be like a somehow another. It's like a different orange maybe. Every time I see the word camera, I want to make it yellow, but like a mustardy yellow. Why does everything have to be M's and C's? It'll feel wrong to me if I change anything to make it even different color. Like that you said knowledge can sometimes come at a cost. Like, dang, like, yeah. I felt that. For some reason, I'm gonna make this green because I don't know why. M's are always red for me. Whenever I see an M, I'm like, that's SOB. He's got to be red. But then, yeah. All right, cool. So that's nice. I like that. I don't know how I'm going to pair all of these colors specifically, but I can create a color editor utility blueprint. Someday I'll get into that. Maybe that does cool things. Materials, media, miscellaneous. I think it's under miscellaneous. Color. No. Paper 2D. Play. Duxie is back. Welcome back, Duxie. Let's find. Why can't I think of the name of it? Maybe it's under materials. Color material parameter collection. This may be it. Yes. Yes. Hey, here we go. Cool. Now we get to set colors. So under vector parameters. Parameter name. This is how we're going to name our stuff. So camera operating. Where's the enum? Control modes. Mocap controls. Okay. Mocap controls. I switched to midnight data. Oh, is it late where you're at? Is that what you mean by midnight? Index. Yeah, the mocap controls we said were going to be some kind of like some like bright red. So like I don't really actually like bright red in anything. That's a good color for that. Mocap. And the next one is the next one camera settings? Camera switcher. Camera switcher. Let's just make all these. Camera knowledge. I'm still thinking about knowledge. I'm still thinking about that quote you said, Duxie. Still thinking about camera settings, cameras operating. Settings. Sounds like it's late there. Don't lose too much sleep. I mean, I guess it's the weekend, but I definitely can't stop you. I can't stop myself. I'm a chronic stay up too late kind of person. Camera operating. And then what else? Oh, it's not midnight here. Yikes. Did you guys hear that? That's a bunch of motorcycles. Oh my gosh. Wow. Camera operating, media textures, lighting, miscellaneous. Media textures. Lighting. Ooh, I wanted this to be higher up. Let's Control X. Be a while before we get anything doing with the going with the lighting. Camera switcher. What color did we say that was going to be? It's going to be kind of orange. Okay, cool. The switcher could be more orange than that. No one's going to be able to make sense of this when I'm using it, which is actually kind of exactly what I want. I don't like yellows that are too... I like warm yellows for some reason. I just have preferences down to the... Why do I have a preference about that? That's so weird. Camera settings, camera operating. What color was that going to be? That was going to be like an in-betweener yellow. These colors are all going to look way too similar. That's a good color for that one. Media textures, that was going to be a red, right? That was going to be a... something like that. Oh, man, you got to go to school tomorrow? Oh, that does suck. Yeah. You're saying you got to walk there. We might be similar in that way because, I mean, I live in New York City and I don't own a car, so I walk plenty of places. But I'm guessing from what you're saying that it's probably not the same. It's probably a different kind of a walk situation. But I'd get some sleep. Live to code another day, I say. Then this one's gonna be green for some reason because yeah. Let's make this a little pinker. Yeah, magenta mocap controls. Cool. Cool. Nice. So, do I have these one-to-one with the names? Because that might matter. this mode colors. Save everything just to be safe. Cannot drag and drop that, so let's see if I can add it as a variable. Let's look it up. Material collection. Material parameter collection. I think that might just be a class reference. And mode colors. No, it's going to be an object reference because let's just set up this functionality here, and then we'll let the widget not have to do. We'll have a strong central blueprint, and then we'll send a lot of data other places. So we will have our mode colors here. This is going to be an object reference. Object reference. And then I guess we're going to just create vector from class. Mode colors? No, that's not going to happen. Ah, okay. Material expression object reference. What? Dang it, I just want to use these colors. Let's see if we can add it to the widget. Maybe we can add it to the widget. Close this. Close this. Close this for now. Trying to think here. We're gonna have to add let's look it up. Material Okay, this is all very helpful for set scalar parameter value. This is the kind of thing we want to do. Pretty sure. I'm not really reading this, I'm just looking at things very quickly. This might not be what I need. This might be a bad sidetrack. You know what? We're going to use the timer again. I'm going to use my little timer. Duxie, do you regularly have to attend school on Sundays? 5-minute timer, and then I'm being done with this rabbit hole. What was that one thing again? Get scalar parameter value. Whoa. Get scalar vector. Get vector parameter value. Yes. Magic. That's it. Right there. Yes. Okay. Awesome. We don't have to set anything up here. I'm going to copy this. I'm going to paste this in my camera controller. And what? Where are we in the camera controller? Where are we? The event graph. Ah, okay. Cool. So change widget. Let's change widget. We're gonna add an input for him. Color. BG color. And we're gonna set this specifically. We're gonna go camera controller. We're gonna find. You don't normally. Okay, that's good. That's good. You that. Yeah, I hated. I just dropped my index controller, and you're wondering why they're not working. Yeah, I hated school growing up. It was awful. I would just go home and do something like this. Not that you could do anything like this while I was growing up. You can do it now. That wasn't a thing then. Oh, right. I had to paste this. Change background color. Time to start commenting on some stuff. Mode. Switcher. Yeah, if I went to school on Sunday, it was Sunday school, and that was a church thing. It wasn't really school. But, yeah, education can be important, too, because it totally depends on where you're at in life and stuff. I always have to be very careful because I didn't enjoy school because I enjoyed teaching myself. I can sometimes be really brash, and I can tell people, like, hey, you need to, like, get out there and teach yourself stuff, and then it's not. Oh. Timer went off. Good thing I fixed the problem already. So, I'm going to get the name of this. And I think that this will just set the mode color exactly F color. Oh, all right. What's our error here? G color does not match any parameters of the function change widget. What? I'll show you. There we go. Control mode, enumerator 0. Whoa. Well, that didn't go so nicely. There we go. Let's try that. Oops. Let's open our mode colors and our control modes. That's our problem. Nice. So now when we play this back, what's the problem now? Camera settings? Ugh. Gotta get it all consistent. Okay, we didn't have any errors this time, but we didn't get our colors. Linear color structure. Linear color returns the vote as an F color with optional sRGB for inequality as a goal. F color, BG color, color structure. Make color. Break color. I shouldn't have to do this. This shouldn't be a part of the deal. Converts color to linear. Okay, this is so stupid. Color. Yeah, no duh, we have an error. The error is I don't know what values are called. Do a lot of 3D things when I'm not in school. I stay home all the time. Good. Good for you. Yeah, as much 3D as you can do it, man. Like, it's never time wasted. Like, my parents would always yell at me when I was, when I was young and I'd be at home and I still live with my parents, and they would always want me to go outside more or something like that. They were like, how much computer are you playing? You're playing too much computer. It's like, look at me now. I use computers all the time, and it's a pretty valuable skill. Misc. That's a problem. So what I want to know is why everything is turning black. Don't like that very much. Because if we replace this, play this, and then we have all sorts of fun colors. Oh, control modes max is going to be a problem. Mode, colors. Don't even need this. Get vector parameter values. I'm returning a linear color to linear color. Why is it turning black? Is the alpha on these guys? Yes. That is what's happening. These are all transparent. We do not want them transparent. We want them to be quite visible. That will be more help. Because linear color also transfers alpha. Alpha, aka transparency. And did not fix it. I really thought that would fix it. Let's resize my window here. They are still turning invisible. I'm gonna... Oh. It's not wired. It's not wired up. This is why people don't like Blueprint. Ah, yes. All right. Control modes max. We're gonna go not equals. Gonna make sure that doesn't come up. Control mode max. If it's not equal to that, we'll go. Let's see if this just worked. Actually, the whole control mode max thing should be skipped entirely. This is fine for now. Wait, better idea. All right. So Duxie, here's what we got going on right now. Because you're watching in 144p. I'm just gonna tell you what's up. We have a lot going on here. We have our modes, right? I've made colors for each of the modes. I'm going to use that throughout my controller. And then on top of that, I have set it up so that whenever my controller toggles to one of those modes, it's going to look up the name of the mode color, and then it's going to transfer that to our little widget. We have this little widget here, and it sits in the bottom of our corner. It's just going to sit in the bottom of my frame. It is pretty much indistinguishable. It looks like an error. And honestly, if I full screen my shot, like if I go full screen here, you're never even actually going to see it, because when I record these, it's an area that's going to get clipped. So I'm going to print a small amount of data in there, and then basically every time that this thing starts up, it's going to be out of the way. People won't be able to see it, but I'll be able to see it, and I'll be able to know what my controller is up to. I'm going to make it bigger because now I know that nobody's actually going to see it at all. It's cool. I'm going to put some text in there, and then I'll be able to see whatever I just changed, which is going to be really nice because I don't want to be blind while I'm doing the Vtube. I don't want to be guessing at what I'm fixing. So I'm going to add some text. Text block? I think that's what I want. Do I want text, or do I want a text box? I have a background. Maybe I wanted just a text box all along. Yeah, I think that's maybe what I wanted all along. Let's experiment with this. Anchors down here. Let's cool. Don't think I want this. If I put some text in it, hi, I am text. That's not horrible. Appearance, background image. That's actually what we want to change, pretty sure. So, image none, tint, maybe. Yeah. Yeah, because I think this should contain any text that goes off, and I don't want text to escape into my scene. That's an absolute no-no. Whoa. What happened here? What did I do? I'm gonna try. I'm gonna add a new one. Maybe it happened after I anchored it. Sweet. Oh, what is that noise? Somebody's car? What's happening? Oh, I'm so sorry if you guys can hear that too. That's horrible. Size 1 font. That's what size 1 font looks like. Let's try 7. That's good. All right. Yikes. It's whenever I compile it. But still visible there. So let's change our graph. So text box. Set appearance. Will we even... For some reason, people are just playing high-pitched noises in my neighborhood. I haven't drank water in forever. I drink a water. That tastes so good. Background images. I need to be able to affect this. How do I make this appearance, background image, tint? I need to be able to change that. Set style. Okay. Yep, it's happening. I got this. Got this. All right. So it should be the image normal. This is the first one. So make Whoa. Can I make one of those? Yep, just keep following the logic that I have here. So we're going to change this to this. Need to sleep. Sorry, I could not stay till the end. It's okay. It's 6 p.m. here. I'm going to go for a little while longer. You need to sleep. You need to sleep, man. Get your sleep. Let's do both of these. Linear color. Okay. That was a lot of effort. Cool, that works. We're gonna lose the background because we don't need it. Yes. My question is, I only want to affect. I really only want to affect certain things here. I don't want to I don't want to change everything every time. And I guess I don't really like the jagged look of it, but I'm not gonna code all that. This is supposed to be this is already, it's getting blown out of proportion. You can over-engineer things. I'm over-engineering anything right now. I know what issue this is. And I'm gonna collapse it. And I'm gonna change this to, I gotta do this in the designer. Rename, notify. Tab, 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 tab. Let's get out of here. And then any text that we have, we can send through here. I'm not going to send the name of the mode. That's fine because we don't need to do that. Man, I have all of this space here. If I'm doing screen recording and I'm cropping a little bit, I could totally fill up this whole column with data. I wonder if that's responsible. Duxie, thank you for the good wishes. Have a good night. All right. Awesome. Awesome. Cool. So this change widget, we're going to include string. And where is that? Here we go. So display string, display title, and display value. And then we're going to add display value. We're going to make these strings. String. Obviously, we don't always want to rewrite the color, so we're going to branch. And we're going to create something called new color. Oh, yeah, duh. Boolean. New color. Gonna toss this one up here. If it's true, then we're gonna set the style, and then if it's not, we're gonna set the text. But we're not gonna do that much with this widget. So, we mostly want to be able to set the text. Text. Hint text. Set text. Text box. We're going to go append. Then, wait, we want to be able to, is there a way to add like a indentation, I wonder? Indent. Ah, all right, so what I need is another text box, I think. Or I just need 2 pieces of text. For now, in version 1, we're just going to do it like this. We'll have space. And I can tell I'm getting tired because I'm making the blueprints look really nasty. It's not too complicated yet though, so that's maybe it's okay. Just want to be able to see everything okay. I'm gonna hold on to this randomizer. You know what? Let's add this to our macro library. That'd be cool. We'll use this function later on. I don't ever want to have to program random color again. Let's go. Macros. Random color. Wait, does this already exist? This is for changing hue. I'll do it. I'll do it. You know, it's no big deal. It's fine. It's fine. So we're gonna go. We're just gonna use an output. And it's gonna be linear color. Cool. So now we can just get random color every time. I think it's that easy. Great. And then we don't necessarily want to change. You know, these should be different. These should be different things. So change widget. Can I copy or duplicate this somehow? Yeah, it's change text. And string title. value. Because this shouldn't be that complicated. And this surprisingly will work. Oh, my wife just sent me a sweet text. Duxie, you just said Discord? Maybe you found me on Discord? I'll check later. See if there's anything worth noting on Discord. All right, let's go. What else do I need to do next? Because, all right, so the meat of this task is setting up these different control systems to only work while we're on their mode. So I'm gonna just see if I can quick Google search something. I delegate events in action mapping in Blueprint. Let's see. This might be good. No answers to his question. Not sure if it's what I was looking for. Activate action mapping Blueprint. There is not able to disable or remove action mapping. Let's type in action mapping. Okay, so the best thing I know how to do right now is just create a check to see if the right thing has been called. I'm going to add a check macro. No, I'm going to add a check function so it can get called outside too. Create functions. I'm going to add a new one. I'm going to call it class activated. Is correct mode. Control mode. And then it's just going to compare two values and see if they're the same, which is dumb, but it's like, it's not a complicated function, but you'll see. You'll all see. gonna get it's not gonna we're just gonna feed one in. Gonna branch. Then we're gonna see this equals, and that's not how that works. And where's our? Check it against our current control mode. If it equals this, then we're gonna output oops, I didn't want to do that. I'm just going to execute. Oh. I didn't mean to do that at all. I don't really necessarily want that. Okay. That's what I want right here. So that may seem like an insignificant piece of code, but for anything that we're doing here that has an axis input, we can just keep adding any qualifying stuff that we need by pushing everything through this thing. So it's got to go through us first. So this is a camera settings. This is camera settings. So this is eventually going to have its own system to be changed and managed. Oh, I'm getting a little tired. Getting a little tired. Okay. So should check every single time to see if it's the correct mode. So for what we set up today, we have this set up. So currently it's working. So should not be working. Current control mode and this are the same should return, and if not, should not return. I'm just gonna make it say false. Okay, gotta delete that or I'll really not like myself afterwards. Oh, okay. Interesting. Right, I forgot this is an axis mapping. Oh. It's still bad. Okay. Yeah, you know what? That true false thing, it's not really worth it because this is going to fire regardless. Which means it's got to be a macro. Ah, we could have made it a macro. Let's do this in our macros. Controller mode. Inputs. Give me an exec. So this is being fired every single time we have axis inputs. It just feels bad. So we should put this in the other, like... Let's put our... Let's make our life easier. And then let's axis map greater than 0. Let's take our function from this. And then let's bring it in here. Let's combine them. That way we only need to have one mode. One thing going on. So axis, then mode. That's going to be control mode. It's going to be a float. This will stop a lot of horrible things from happening. Cool. So we have that functionality. Then the mode, let's see if that's equal to another enum. Then, oh crap. Yeah, the downside of this is that we're gonna have to plug the other thing every time. Well, what if we did this at this level? Could we... I'm over-optimizing. Can I get this now? Yes. All right. I hate these inputs and outputs, but I gotta do it. Mode. Node. Mode. Mode. So it's going to be an exec. We're going to do true and false here. Yep. Check. So if it's more significant than a 0.2 change, then we're going to check we're going to do another branch. We're going to true and false our way out of this thing. Yeah, that should do it. That's the right thing. Can't believe we made a function, a macro, and then another macro. That's really obnoxious. Should probably delete some of this stuff. Oh my gosh. Oops. Control checker. Oh gosh. We don't even need that anymore because we have this one. And that's a dumb name for it. Floats. Gotta add our float. Wrong side. Ah. I called that axis before. The thing great about these is they just, you don't seem to need to. I could pass the float through. Additionally, I need to actually hook it up. I'm just gonna call this pass. Through. And I can keep all my blueprints cleaner. I'm getting really OCD, aren't I? This is like, ooh. That was maybe a little intense of the amount of customization. Because now you're not getting anywhere. Then you're not getting anywhere. All right, so this should, yeah, this should not be so slow. There's a lot of things going on here that I'm afraid I've slowed down significantly with this character controller. So and then so we're in this mode. Yes. This might be it for the day. I feel like everything got very slow. Maybe the secret to these is to get the axis, to just leave the axis mappings and then just fire everything on an axis like action so that you can still get the, that's probably the way to do it. I'd be interested in bugging some Unreal devs about this. But yeah, I'm going to say that probably right now this mapping is what's slowing everything down. So let's see. Yeah, you see that our frame rate's way back up. So we're trying to do way too many calculations on a specific. Yeah, now we fire this back up again. See, this is learning. What? I don't know what. I don't know anymore. I don't understand. I don't know why things got slow. Maybe just because we've been streaming for hours and GPU. I have no idea. But that's gonna be it for me for this stream for now. This is really fun, and I think I got some good function in here. Some good stuff happened. I think I can cut it for today. All right. Thanks, everybody.